Welcome to the Manifesting Millions podcast, where we talk about manifestation, money, and practical guidance to creating your dream reality. My name is Amy Van Meel, and I am an experienced coach and transformation guide, obsessed with helping you get out of your own way and create a life that blows your mind each day you wake up. My goal in this podcast is to share practical manifestation, self-awareness, and growth techniques in real talk conversations. So if you're ready to massively transform your reality, your finances, your relationships, and your overall enjoyment of life, you are in the right place. I am absolutely delighted that you're here with me today, babe. Let's get into it. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to another special, sweet, sneaky little episode. I was like, what does that sound? And I realized I forgot to turn off the audio on my computer. Today, I want to introduce you to this juicy concept that I love, which is simple shifts over time create magic. All right. And I'm going to take you on a little journey with me. So come with me, sit down. Grab a cup of tea. Let's have a good time. Have you ever heard of Jason Camisa? You may not have. I don't expect you to. He's an automotive journalist that I discovered a few years ago on YouTube, and I friggin' love his videos. You probably didn't know that I'm a little bit of a car nut. If you've been with me on the podcast long enough, you will have absolutely heard me talking about my cars and my love of cars over the time, but most people don't realize that I'm a little bit of a car nut. And it's actually one of the things that created like an almost instant connection between my husband and I when we first met. So my husband and I are sitting on the couch. We're watching one of Jason Camisa's videos about a car that I'd never heard of called the Merkur XR4Ti. Just rolls right off the tongue. And Jason has this really beautiful way of moving through the history of a vehicle, spinning this story that makes what would otherwise feel like really fucking dull, right, seem very interesting. And as he was talking us through some of the key markers in the timeline of this Merkur XR4Ti, he noted the economic dips along the way. Now, he was telling it in the context of like, here's what happened, and this is why this car did well or didn't do well. But one of the dips that he mentioned was 1982. Now, as Jason carried on with the video, my brain floated off in a different direction for a moment, as it often does, because I was born in 1983. And I found myself thinking, wow, my parents still decided to have me even though the economy was in a tailspin? Now, I've been wandering around this planet for more than 40 years now. You now know I'm born in 1983, so you can do the math. But I've been around for more than 40 years. And do you know what I've heard every single one of those years? The world is going to hell. It's so much worse than it used to be. The economy is a disaster. I've heard those things from the moment I was breathing, and I'm sure you've heard much the same. It comes up over the water cooler at work. It gets said across the cashier's counter at the grocery store. It's a topic of conversation at just about every dinner gathering. Everyone is talking about how bad it is in the world right now. And they have been for at least the last 40 years. I mean, they've probably been saying it way before then too, but I can't personally testify to that. So I can't tell you for sure if that's true or not. The problem is that this topic is a double-edged sword. It hits you on the upswing with these dark, defeating, powerless thoughts, and it hits you on the downswing with fear and worry that you won't be able to move forward financially, that you'll be stuck feeling broke forever. And even that saving for your future is a lost cause. And don't even get me started on the whole, you need to have at least $1 million in the bank to retire diatribe that I see so many financial experts are currently saying. And they might be correct, and that might be true, but Jesus Christ, that's so frustrating when you're financially struggling. when you're not even sure how to go forward. And every headline around you is just talking about how terrible and bleak and dark the world is, and more layoffs and more this. And you're just like, oh my God. Now, the natural place for us to go would be to talk about how there are more millionaires now than ever before, which is true. But I am curious if it actually helps you feel less broke by hearing that there's more millionaires, especially if you're not one yet, right? I could talk about how recessions are normal, which they are, and that they are spacing further apart over time, which is also true. But is it useful to know that the dips are normal when you're afraid you won't be able to pay rent next month? It might even make sense to tell you that the world is, in fact, getting better year over year. It's statistically proven. But do you feel safer when you're worried that you're way behind on saving for retirement now? You see, the thing is, there's a disconnect here. There's a gap between, look, there are good things in the world, and how the hell do I take care of myself? So, our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to close the gap, to bring, hey, there are good things happening in the world, together with, and I take care of myself with ease. But how in the holy fork balls do we do that? I'm going to be very happy to tell you because, like, boy, it would be a real, like, cliffhanger to just be like, never mind, bye, and you have to figure it out. So I will tell you how to do that in a moment, but I want to do a little check-in because I'm very curious if any of these apply to you, because this is something that I've seen over and over. I'm going to give you 3 little descriptions, and I want you to think if any of these apply to you, okay? Does this describe you? I'm lazy. I have no vision for my future. I'd rather just sit on the couch until the end of time. Or I'm incapable. I have very few or no skills. I'm not interested in growing. Or my mind is fixed. I'm unwilling to see a different perspective. I want everything to stay the same. So I'm curious, if you had to, could you truthfully say any of these actually describe you? My guess is probably not, because if there's one thing that I've learned, it's that people who identify with these statements likely are not the ones who are interested in closing the gap that we talked about. They're the ones who are much more interested in repeating how terrible the world is, how crooked the politicians are, how it's not their fault that they can't move forward, how greedy the rich are. But that's not you. That's not you. So we close the gap between there are good things happening and I take care of myself with ease by understanding and integrating that we are our own security. And we do this by working with our nervous system when we feel activated by the bitter diatribe of a broken world. And we do that by consciously choosing the topics that we put our attention on. And we do all of this by learning through practice and patience how to hold our capability and our security in our hands, even when the world looks like it's one bad headline away from utter disaster. And my favorite part of all of this is that it's not hard work that is going to get you there. They've been lying to you. It's not hard work. It is simple shifts stacking over time. And I show you how to do all of this inside Breakup with Broke. I guide you in working with your nervous system and what the fuck that even means. Because I know it's like everybody's hyping about it right now, but it's like, what does that mean? I guide you how to work with your nervous system so that you can steadily close that gap day by day. I give you a sneak peek into how your brain works and why it seems like you keep hearing the same terrible news over and over. But I don't just leave you there because, like, that'd be rude to be like, here's how your brain works. This is why it's happening. Good luck. I'm not going to show you anything else. That would be a silly place to leave you. So I offer you easy ways to alter the inputs so that you begin noticing more good things around you and therefore reinforce the gap closing between good things happening and me. And I saved the best part to last. I help you recognize that you are the authority. You are the commander. You are the security. And because it's you, it only makes sense that good things come to you. And on this whole journey together, which I make super fucking easy for you, by the way, I help you I'm learning that I am my own security, and every day I am discovering how to hold it, even when the world appears to be on fire, true for you. You're going to learn that you are your own security. You're going to figure out every day that you're discovering how to hold on to it. You're going to learn that even when the world looks like it's like one fucking flaming pile of poop away from just exploding and like it's the apocalypse and here we go and that's the end of it, that you don't have to buy into it. And that you can stop spending all your time seeing the dark things, and instead you can see the growth, and it can feel easy and it can feel simple and it doesn't have to be hard. If that sounds good to you, hell, even if it doesn't sound good to you, but if it sounds like something that you're interested in, I've put the link in the show notes for you. So just head on over to the Breakup with Broke enrollment page, click yourself on the button, get yourself in, and let's get started on shifting this for you, because the truth is honestly that simple shifts over time create magic. And that magic is meant for you. So let's make it easy.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform and help me reach more like-minded people who are ready to expand their life. If you haven't yet followed me on social media, find me on Instagram for extra love and inspiration by following @AmyVanMeal or visit my website at amyvanmeal.com. I love you so much, babe, and I am damn proud of you. I am already excited to connect in the next episode. And in the meantime, believe in yourself with the confidence of a 5-year-old.